Can you hear me? Hey, guess what? We have in the studio Demetrius West. So you just heard the song, You Should Be a Witness.
What up, though?
And this is one of my, do I have to even say it? One of my favorite songs. Of course, this is my workout song. I can get them pounds off.
Okay, then.
Okay?
Okay.
So what a blessing it is to have the amazing Demetrius West in the studio with us today.
Stop it.
Anytime he has something going on and he can take time out to stop by and just pay us a little attention, it makes me feel really special and honored. So thank you for coming in.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
We have a lot to talk about, and he's late, and he did not bring a snack, but that's okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pull up this this meme that I saw the other day.
Oh Lord! If y'all ever on his Facebook,
I had a long day today, but let me pull up this meme today.
Okay.
What was you going to say if y'all ever would?
if you ever on his Facebook and see some of his get it together, getting people together.
Stop it. So this meme said the other day, sorry I'm late. Traffic is exactly how it is been every day for the past 5 years. And I was not expecting that. So that's the reason why I'm late.
So listen, I have a question. I don't think I've ever asked you this. When you got the call that Open Up the Floodgates was nominated for a Stellar, like what did you do? Like what was your response?
I remember I was in the kitchen cooking actually.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had called me and it was like, congratulations on the Stellar the official Stellar nomination. And I was like, okay, cool.
What?
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I'll hit you back when I get done eating.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't really hit me till I got done eating. I was like, wait a minute, what just happened? But I was still really cool. I mean, I wasn't. You would think that I would probably be overzealous. I knew the song had potential, but I just didn't know how far God was going to take us on there. So
So this is not just no one-hit wonder song. This song was on the billboards
for over 43 weeks.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. And even to this day, it's still playing.
Yes.
Even though it's not in the top 30s anymore, it's still playing. And then you hear so many choirs.
Yes.
Praise teams and groups and stuff.
How does that make you feel? Like, do you sit back and just be like, they are somebody, and I'm sure people tag you when people are singing your song.
Oh, yeah.
And do you just sit back and be like, wow, this is...
It's overwhelming to say the least. Because I've been saying this from the beginning. I never ever thought that it was gonna work. So I didn't really have too many high expectations for it, but a lot of times, and it's not saying that I didn't necessarily like the song, but a lot of times this is what artists in general, that we may not think a song will work, but the consumers is what matters, because you never know what blesses people.
Right.
So
right.
the consumer definitely is what makes that work.
And I think the biggest thing with the song, besides it being a great song, I mean, just period, the lyrics, the music, everything is perfectly placed, is the fact that we miss choirs.
Yeah.
I think that is when I went to your, I want to say it was March the 16th of this year, when you were at Fervent Prayer.
Yeah.
And to see, very seldom now do you see choirs marching in.
We marched in.
Look, I felt like I was in the choir. They were, you know how the old people used to turn and march? I was like, this is so...
That was something that we decided to do the night before. Like,
really?
I was like, you know what? I think it would be really cool if we marched in.
Because we all grew up with our choirs marching in,
Yeah.
moving the same way, everybody rocking the same way.
Yeah.
And not saying I don't like what happens now with music and praise teams, but I think it was a thirst for the choirs coming together.
And,
I think that's what it is.
And the truth of the matter is, there's a person in every church that really don't want to be on the usher board. They don't really want to be a deacon. They don't want to be a minister. They don't want to be on the praise team because they're now exposed to microphones and there's some people just like me that just love choir. They're like I don't want to do anything else. you know, but sing in a choir. And that's how I was as a kid, you know. I was drugged to church to do many things, drill team, which none of that is wrong. Drill team and some other stuff that I had no choice to do as a kid. But I just really, really wanted to sing, and I think there are so many people out there that just want to sing,
right?
You know,
but they don't want to be on the mic, and
No,
I think with the
don't-
praise
yeah.
team, we're kind of like everybody has. It's like that comedian said, all rappers got their own mic.
everybody, 20 people over the microphone. Yeah. And we don't understand nothing.
But the
nobody's
beat
saying.
sounds nice.
The beat is amazing, but we don't understand nothing he's saying. So, but that was the name of the record, of my last record, Choirology, because I wanted it to feel like when I grew up in church, the way that felt like.
Yes.
And that's one thing I think that made the record jump so high, is because there was that void that was missing.
Yeah.
And there's so many choirs out there now and stuff like that. And I'm not saying we brought the choir back, but on a national level, beyond your Ricky Dillards or your James Halls or your Hezekiah Walkers or John B. Keys, there wasn't a millennial
Right.
There has been that void of the millennial type sound from the church, and so we wanted to just bring that back, and that was the purpose of it.
And I remember being young. Well, I'm still young. I remember being little, you know, like a younger age. But I remember the prestige and watching the choir. People came for the choir. Now, we should have been coming for the
word,
but people will show up for the choir and to see, I wonder what they're doing this time.
Yeah.
What kind of, you know, it's so much unity in a choir.
It is. And it's a camaraderie. It's a family. You know, I know some choirs that are now retired. And some of them are still like family, you know, because that builds a camaraderie. It's just it's the same thing as a fraternity or sorority.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that, and it teaches you discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when people want to be on praise teams or, you know, soloists or whatever, that really is no structure there.
Right.
There's no. It's just,
if you want to run, you can run.
Do your thing.
If you want to sing loud, normally on praise team you have one or two sopranos.
For sure.
You got one or two altos, so you can sing. But in the choir, you have to blend with the person next to you.
Yeah.
You have to, and everybody has to sing the same way in order for the songs to work.
Because it won't work if it's not like that.
Right, and that's true.
It won't work. So that's what the choir was made for. And we can do all the praise team stuff all day long, but we're gonna have a choir in heaven. You know, we're gonna sing together.
That's right. We might as well get used to it here.
We're gonna sing.
But you can't even get people to stand next to each other half. Okay.
That's a whole horse of another color.
All
so,
right.
You know. Anyway.
So that, and of course, looking at that type of praise and worship, the unity, and most of the time people want to join the choir because it is a whole entity by itself.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, the word is what saves us. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that is something. That's why it's so
important. But music
important.
brings,
brings them through the door to me.
Brings them through the door. And the word keeps you.
And that's why it's so important, the lyrics that we write. Our lyrics have to have something about hope, Christ's burial and resurrection, a message of hope. It has to always bring that, because sometimes you can't get them through the door when they get tired of ministers preaching.
True.
They feel like you look in the news, the ministers are just as corrupt as the people on the street. So they don't want to hear them, but they will come for a choir.
Yeah, true. And the truth of the matter is, all of us are flawed, even from the pastors on down. All of us are flawed. But I think music has a way of interpreting and being something to people to feel that emotional need that's needed. And sometimes, you know, the music can be so high. The preacher don't even need to preach.
Right. He could say, just let's extend the invitation. I've seen it that way
Yeah,
before. Like
yeah,
the spirit
yeah.
be so high,
Yeah.
and you don't want to cut it off because the spirit is doing such a great. It's so
Mm-hmm.
heavy and it's doing such a work. You scared to cut it off
Yeah.
because he's moving.
You don't want to, because those are moments. God does speak through music as well. You know, he speaks through music, and we can't take that for granted at
Right.
all. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the choirology. I don't think there's one song on there that I skip by. Because they're all good. And like I said, it puts me in the mind of being younger and watching a choir.
Being younger.
Actually, yeah. I'm
You are
still
young.
young.
You're young.
When I was under 20, let's
Yeah.
put it like that. When
Yeah,
I was
but
under
you
20.
young. You
Thank
young.
you. Look at my brother. That's why we family. You hear that? So if you could work with any artist, what artist would you work with? So if an artist, your favorite artist
It
came
could
to
be
you
anybody.
if your favorite artist came to you and said, "Hey, I want you to write with me write this song. Let's collaborate." What artist would it be?
So, I think I've said this here before. I think one of my, two of my all-time favorite, three is, I think I've done it now. Two of them are deceased, and one of them still living, but she's on her retirement, and that's Anita Baker. I would love to work with her. I would also during of course when they were living, Luther Vandross and Anita Baker. I mean, Walter Hawkins.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm a Walter Hawkins.
No, you ain't no bigger fan than me.
I'm a Walter Hawkins fan.
I'm talking about change.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus, I
Thank
love
you.
you.
Oh my goodness, he's that kind of
He's
friend.
that kind of friend. One of my
Be
favorite
grateful.
songs that JP sings, if you notice when we're on the road, sometime I've adopted it to what we do, and that's Jesus Christ is the way.
Yes.
I freaking love that song. It's like one of my favorite songs ever.
The
So-
Potter's House is my favorite.
Yeah.
The
Can't
Potter's.
you have
Oh, look, I gotta know that of man. I didn't have to ask for it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
those type of songs that last beyond us.
Yeah.
Those songs will never get old.
And you write songs. You want to write songs that was the whole purpose of the choirology record too. You want to write songs that will outlive you. Mm-hmm. You want to write songs that outlive you in all of those, in each element, whether it's Walter Hawkins or Luther Vandross or Anita Baker has written songs of our lives. Like they have a catalog that extends. And to me, Luther Vandross had the best background vocals ever.
Now, who would you say of the new artist, R&B, whatever, of the new artist?
If I had a chance to work with anybody, ask me that a little bit later. I need to think. I've never thought about that.
Really? Okay.
I've never thought about that. I think music has changed a whole lot. And so ask me that later.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, ask me that.
Look, I've never known you to be tongue-tied. I'm the bomb.
Ask me that a little bit later.
Okay.
Ask me that later.
Now, we went to, went to a live recording. And I
Was
guess,
it nice? Whose recording was it?
listen, when I say Demetrius West tore it up, first of all, I knew it was going to be good because we have been waiting for, when someone gives you something good, you want more. Okay, so he gave us Open Up the Floodgates, and I was like, okay. Then Choirology was right behind it. And I was like, okay, I want some more. When are you coming out with some more? When we need some more.
Ask me all that.
And then, I know, all the time I got on his nerves, and he came out with some more. And I knew it was going to be good, but it superseded what I thought it was going to. I mean, I already knew it was going to be good, but it was great. Like, it was amazing.
Thank you.
So when are we, first of all, I want to know the backstory behind the songs. Like what was the name of the first song?
It's called, oh, my choir would get me if I, It's
Tell
called
Jordan to go outside. I'm sorry, my son's out. Tell Jordan Dominique's waiting for him out there.
Dominique is waiting for you outside.
Right now.
Jordan.
Go.
Somebody tell Jordan.
Hold on, watch this. You're on speaker, and we're in the studio with Demetrius
We're live.
West. You're
See?
live.
See how this is.
You're on speaker. He's coming out now, and
Rita.
okay.
Shut up, Rita.
Woo! I'm gonna hear that call later on. You already know.
Oh my God, Rita.
What was the first song? Oh my
It's
goodness.
called He Cares.
Yes.
Yeah, He Cares.
Now, what was the song that Brian sang with you?
That song is called God of Everything.
And that was from a previous. Was that
Yeah,
the song from?
yeah.
Okay, so I heard the song from the previous project, and of course, me, I'm not as skilled as you guys are because that sounded awesome to me. But then when Brian put his, I'm like, wow! Like, what made you put people together? Ernest Pugh was there, Josh Rogers was there, so many people were there, so many people were there. What did you have in mind when you put everybody together like that?
So when I'm working on a project or whatever, I'm producing a record. One thing that I definitely like to start off with is the songs. And I was taught something by the late Alda Bishop Hobbs, and this has kind of stuck with me. And it's true. Nothing is more important than your songs. So you can have a bomb lead, you can have the best production, you can have whatever. If the song is not good, it's just not good.
It's not good.
It doesn't matter who you put on there. So I always like to start off with the songs. And so with this record, we had a lot of submissions that came to us, but nothing really like.
So people submitted songs to you.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
People submitted songs, and of course, Jay and I sat down and we wrote to some songs and rearranged some others. But nothing is more important than a song. So we start with the song, and then I picked out the best 10 that I think will work. I was telling a friend of mine that for me, this record is the hardest record that I've ever had to do in my life.
Why?
Trying to come off, because now you're competing with yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're really competing with yourself.
Well, don't let me be the judge, because I'd be like, everybody get a stellar. You get a stellar. This song gets a stellar.
Yeah. And it's not about the friendly camaraderie with other artists or anything of that nature. That competition. It's really with yourself, because the worst thing that you can do is have a hit and then have another CD and it doesn't do as good as the last thing that you had. Wow. So that's the hardest thing. So doing that, and then to answer your question, I'm really good with picking what leads I think is good for something on a record. And so when I hear a song, whether we did if you were at the recording, we did an old Walter Hawkins song, why you say you love Walter.
Whatever, that's my guy.
We did Justin and the Catan. And so San Franklin, who I really adore and love, she lives in Nashville, Tennessee. She originally did that song. And so I was like, well, I wonder, should I call San to kind of redo that again? And I was just like, no, I'm going to call Denise Tishner, who used to live here in Indianapolis, and now sings with Kurt Carr. And so she
tore it up.
Demolished the song.
She tore it.
She killed.
There was not one song that wasn't amazing.
Yeah,
there's not one song.
It was really good. So that's how I pick out.
Okay.
The lead.
So, I'm gonna ask, when can we? And you telling me to be patient, and there's blessings in me being patient. I know. When can we expect a song to be released? And have you chosen the song that's going to be released as a single, or do you choose it? I got good questions today.
So the name of the single is going to be called I'm Next. That's the name of the single. And it's going to be released to radio next week.
So that means Radio Indie will have it.
Yeah. So it'll be released to radio next week. And then the name of the record is going to be called Do It Again. And that'll be out in March.
I can't wait. Like, you know, I can't wait.
Yeah.
You can do it on my birthday. I'll be happy. I feel honored. March 17th. Yeah, he's going to do it on my... Y'all hear that? March 17th. He's going to do it on that day. You're going to have a big album release.
Yeah. So, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to do something big. We're going to do something big. Now, where? I don't know. We've been jogging a couple of cities around, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just let me know ahead of time so I can get my church dress.
Listen. You're going to want to, you know, we was dressed down at the court. You're going to want to dress up for this one.
Okay, I'm going to dress up. I'm going to put on my good church shoes.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Let's take a break. We've been talking about open up the floodgates, so.
And I might, let's see. We got 8 times 4. It's probably about almost 30 people on here watching. If y'all stick around, how long we got?
How much time you want?
Y'all stick around. If we can get up to about. Y'all stick around. Y'all may hear the new single.
Oh my goodness! Y'all heard it here first. Look, I'm about to scream.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this.
Let's go to break. You should be able with us. Now I'm tongue tied. Open up the floodgates. That's another workout song.
Stay around, y'all. Hold
okay.
on. Y'all might hear this song today.
Wow.
Come on, help me say it. I see a new day dawning. I see a new day dawning. I believe it's almost here. I believe it's almost here. Lord, we are standing in your presence. Lord, we are waiting patiently. Our hearts are ready to receive all of the blessings that you have for me. Open up the floodgates. 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 Send your rain. Your rain. Your rain. Come on, clap your hands, everybody. Let me hear you make some noise out there. Let's go higher here. Hey! Breakthrough coming. I feel a breakthrough coming. I believe it's almost here. I believe it's almost here. I feel my increase coming. I feel my increase coming. I believe it's almost here. I believe it's almost here. Lord, we are standing in your presence. Lord, we are waiting patiently. Our hearts are ready to receive all of the blessings that you have for me. Open up the floodgates. 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 Send your rain. Your rain. With expectancy. Come on, put your hands together. Believing that God is getting ready to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. I believe I got a witness right here. Come on, help me say it. We're ready. Hey. For your blessing.
Listen, I can't even think of those notes without getting a headache. I can't even mentally think of them notes without my head, the vein in my forehead popping out. Amazing. So you guys, can you tell why it's been on the billboards for so long? Why it has so many accolades to it? That is just an amazing song.
Thank you.
Amazing song.
A good shout out. I never want to think that no man is an island. So good shout out to the writers on that, Dwight Washington Jr. and Jeffrey Thomas II, as well as myself. We wrote "Open Up the Floodgates." So.
Great song.
Yeah.
So it
Big
only
shout out
gets
to
better. It only gets better from here.
It does. I mean, y'all got so much pressure on your dude, man. That's like
Well, that's because we believe in
it's
in not
pressure. It's too much pressure. I'm too much pressure. We're gonna talk about my sabbatical later. No, I don't know if I want to tell everybody that.
I want to know what you mean by sabbatical. Everybody means something different. So is it going to be just you? Let me call your wife. Does she know?
She does. We've already had a conversation about this, and I think that if you're in ministry or if you work, ministry does not. Like some people have jobs where it's like 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, or so you may do overtime and stuff like that. But if you're in ministry and stuff that I do, that never stops.
Right.
It never, ever, ever stops. So I'm going to take some time next year, and I recommend everybody doing this. I don't care, because you don't want to be burnt out. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You don't want to burn yourself out. And sometimes you just need to get back one with God to make sure that you're hearing correctly from Him. And you can't do that if it's a whole bunch of noise.
And a lot of times God can be trying to tell us to sit down, but we're looking at all this around us like, come on. But it's so important that we take that time. I tell people, they think it's easy being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like I have all these many things that God has allowed me to do, but when everybody's sleeping, I'm still thinking.
Still thinking.
I'm still meditating how to increase income, how to make everything more marketable, no matter what my hand is on.
And the crazy thing about it is I've developed something that I've never had in my entire life for the past couple months, and that is insomnia.
Oh my God, I'm up all the time.
Because your mind just doesn't stop working. And so what I've decided is it's best, and this is to everybody out there, whether you in ministry, whether you work 15 jobs, and that ain't of God. That's a whole different conversation. I was just telling JP this in the rehearsal a couple weeks ago, that it's better for us to get apart than to fall apart. And sometimes you just want to take a break, whether that's 2 weeks, 2 months, or 6 or 7 months. It's okay to just take a break.
And step back away from everything.
Because if God in his infinite wisdom in Genesis can rest on the Sabbath, that's what a sabbatical is. He can rest on the seventh day. He looked around and he said, cool, I've worked this hard, now I'm gonna rest. And there's nothing wrong with.
People have you feeling a certain type of way when you take that pause. And I don't think I've ever just
No, ma'am.
not done any. I mean, because even if I am so like I'll say I'm taking a break for today, I'm still working.
Yeah.
I'm still doing things. It's still going on. My husband has told me I have rolled over in the bed and recorded a lyric that I've heard in my head and roll over and record it and go right back to sleep.
And nothing is wrong with that, because that's why David had recorders when he heard from God, because I believe that when God speaks to you, he's not obligated to repeat himself. So
Wow.
So sometimes when in those moments, have you ever done that and forgot a lyric?
Yep,
Because
and
you
be
did do
mad
that?
because I could not
'Cause
remember
God
it.
is not obligated to
Repeat
to
himself.
But I'm doing this study with Dr. Creflo Dollar, and he's talking about um, the rest of God, and because I just wanted to make sure that I'm hearing from God and as it pertains to this, and he said the Bible says to labor to rest. Do you? So that means you have to work
In order to rest.
to rest. But the labor in your rest is making sure that you're resting while you're resting.
Wow.
And so if I have to labor to rest, it's the same thing as he puts it in his sermon that he was talking about. And Donald Lawrence has the song "The Rest" as well, and he says it's like when an attorney says, "I rest my case, it's finished." He's labored, now it's rest time. So you have to learn how to labor.
There's nothing else to do after
There's
that.
nothing else to do. Labor to rest. And sometimes they say he maketh me to lie down. If that means you were working so hard. There's a whole bunch of lazy people out here that want to rest
And ain't done nothing.
ain't doing nothing. But I think it's so significant. If you want to continue to grow, you got to step back and take care of your family, take care of your. But most importantly, your mental health is most important.
Yeah.
Because people, if you're in ministry a lot, people you can literally let people drive you crazy.
And it's so, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times we carry the weight as worship leaders and all that. We carry the weight of people that come to us and
Yeah.
talk to us, and they have no idea the burdens we carry of our own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we take their burdens on too. And it's kind of, it gets
And then who do you empty out to?
right. And that's the thing. Who do I empty out to? And that's where my lyrics come in at.
Yeah.
I told myself when I started writing that I want to be able to write lyrics that people can relate to. Like they can listen to this song and be like, I've been there. Like I can completely understand. And also the mental health aspect is so important, because it's so easy for us to want to be there for everybody at the same time, all the time. And then the minute you step back and say, I just absolutely cannot do it
You
this
think
day.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, one thing that I've learned, and I just in these days now, I don't have a problem with saying no,
Okay.
because your no's are just as good as your yeses. Because I was minister of music I was one of the directors of worship at New Life Worship Center, and Pastor Ramsey quite often said that when you overwork yourself to help people, people call you every 2 weeks. I need money, but they forget to pay you back. Or can you take me here? Can you take me there? He said the truth of the matter is that if you die, they gonna mourn you maybe a week,
Right.
and they gonna figure out
How to work
how
it
to
out.
work it out.
Mm-hmm.
So the truth of the matter is that when you're in need, and these are habituals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you're in need, try to figure out what you would do
Right.
if I wasn't here, and figure it
And-
out. Steve Harvey said the best way to stay rich is not be broke.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But also, I enjoy helping people.
Oh, I do too.
Like I enjoy helping people. I enjoy giving to people. But you also have to have a discernment, because people will. This is a prime example. So I may help you, okay, because I believe in your ministry. But it doesn't mean because I help you I have had people come in my inbox and like, hey, would you donate to? I have never seen you share a flyer.
Yeah.
I have never even
Yeah.
seen you say hi, and you come in my inbox and say, hey, can you donate to this ministry? Can my ministry? Can you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, wow, you see me doing this for this person, but you don't know what all that person's done for me
Exactly.
to make me want to do
the
for
same
them.
token.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you can imagine, I get that a lot too. And you just gotta use discernment with that type of stuff. I had a young man. Never mind. He's probably watching. But never mind. But you just gotta use discernment. And if I don't see you helping other people,
I won't.
and
I won't help.
when it's your time to do stuff, then you want people to jump on board with you. I'm good.
I don't do it because, and there was a time I would do it, but no, I think it's not. I will run myself ragged helping others, and you can help. And I'm not even talking about monetarily, but you can help and you can do something, but you won't. But then when it's your time, you want everybody to pull together. Oh my goodness, come on, let's all pull together. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So we have got to do better. We've got to do better.
And once again, this is to all the people that you feel that you're overworked, and some of y'all work just to get above broke. So you're over broke, and we work 25,000 jobs just to be over broke. That's not the will of God.
No.
That's not the will of God. And sometimes you have to take. The most important. People don't want to hear this, especially millennials in this day. The most important thing that you can do, the best investment that you can do, is tithe and give.
People, you don't hear that anymore.
I'm telling you, because if you want to know how successful I am, and whatever that means to you, because if you think I'm successful now, you haven't seen nothing yet.
Right.
Whatever that means to you at this point. What I'm saying is the best way to get successful is to do it God's way. And
For longevity.
for longevity. And I told God, I said, He speaks of, I pour out blessings that men will give to you, that you won't have enough room
To even receive it.
I want to be the man that gives. Not we always want to be on the receiving.
Right.
But I want to have so much in my storehouse that I don't have no choice but to give it away. But to give it away. So
And you don't hear about tithing anymore. You don't hear about it. And I
People.
tell people,
it's important.
I'm just as faithful when I get $500 as I am when I get $5,000.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer. If you don't know how to tithe when you get $100, you're not going to tithe any better when you get $1,000.
It's gonna be worse.
It's going to be worse. It's going to be worse.
If God see that you're not taking care of your apartment, your 900 square foot apartment, how you think He's gonna bless you with a 9,000 square foot home? It's the things that you do, on the low level. It's not about. Sometimes your faith is, because I used to have a car that I used to have to lay hands on it. Like Jesus, today.
Just let it be the.
I got 13 buckets of water in the back.
Okay.
I got to keep on putting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's easy for me now not to pray when I start up my engine because I'm not in that same predicament no more. But we gotta, if you have that faith on that level, God is not going to do nothing but keep on increasing you, and you have to do the work in tithing.
And you can't expect God to bless you with more if you can't handle what you have right now.
Yeah, and artists, leaders, quit telling me who you over until you tell me who you under.
Who's that?
What's important is that you've got to have a covering. Some of us just working at these churches,
Just doing
a
a job.
just getting a check, and you ain't got no covering. God ain't gonna bless you.
Which means you have no accountability
God ain't gonna
to
bless you.
anyone. So you're like a cell phone that you think, you know how sometimes you think you plug your phone up at night and you really don't, or it's not connected to the wall. So what happens? It eventually dies.
When
But
you
you
wake up
thought
in
it
the
was
morning, you
connected.
like, dog it.
Oh,
I thought
right.
I knew for sure I charged up my phone.
Now it'll last for a minute, but it will only last for so long.
You need that recharging. You need that refreshing. I
Yeah.
think we've gone off the subject, but
No,
yeah.
we haven't. This is good.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, so you said that you're going to be opening up for people to, if they would like to come and be a part of Demetrius Weston.
Yeah, we do it every year around April.
I'm going to show up one day.
Come on through. My singers was telling me I only do it for one day in April.
Do you have a lot of people like show up?
Yeah.
Like, do you do like American Idol and you sit back and be like, how do you do
I'm
it?
not that type of guy. We generally do it for 1 week, and all the people that want to come generally, because I only put it out the week before we do it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna
Which
see
makes
what-
sense.
I want to see how your commitment level will be.
Right.
And so my singers was like, well, you got to start giving them more time and all that type of stuff. So generally, I don't want to tell how we do that's like an initiation process.
Okay. I get that.
I don't want to tell that.
I get that. I get that. But
Just the
it's
next
important.
time,
It's
if you want to sing, come.
and it's important to understand that it's a dedication.
Yeah.
There has to. You can't just come
Yeah.
for the things that you think are important. You have to come when there's just
lights and cameras and
yeah. You
action.
have to come when there's 5 people
Yeah.
in the audience sometimes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and still be just as faithful in delivering the message
Yeah.
like you are when there's 1 million people.
Certainly.
You know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
So, I said I'm gonna show up one day,
Come on
just to
through.
show up, cause you know what I like? I like
Come
the
on
spirit of everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know everybody's names, but everybody is so nice and friendly, and I just like to see them. Just everybody has their own way of praise, even though you guys are one. Everybody still has their own way that they deliver the message,
Yeah.
and that's what I
One,
love.
and one thing that I pride myself on too is that we certainly are a group of love. Like, doesn't matter your background, your denomination, any of that type of stuff. If we have the same common seed, and that's Jesus Christ, that same
Right.
common denominator, Jesus Christ. You good? You can sing a little bit. I can teach you how to sing. You can sing a little bit. Teach you how to do that. But it's more so over the camaraderie and the love, and that demonstrates on the stage too. That's not fake or phony.
No, you can tell. I mean, if anybody comes to any of your, anytime that you're out ministering, you can tell that everybody literally has their own way of delivering, but the voices are the same.
Yeah.
But everybody has their own method of delivering the message to the people.
Absolutely.
And that's what I appreciate too. So we have a thing coming up. Look, I said we, like I'm a part of it too. I am a part of it because my family's in there.
Absolutely.
This Friday, first of all, I think it is an amazing idea to do it after Thanksgiving. For Thanksgiving is not just one day, but I love the fact that people come together and being thankful for. There's so many things that God delivered us from and saved us from. We don't even think about it. We focus on what God, you gave me a house, but what about that car accident He's kept away from us?
Yeah.
That when my children are going to the bus stop.
The old folks used to say, danger
Seen and unseen, yeah. So even when I'm not thinking, my children are on the bus stop, my children are riding a bus, my children are in school, and they come back home.
Yeah.
My husband works second shift, that split shift, and he drives at night home to me.
Yeah.
And God just keeps all that away from him. So I love the fact that you have Indianapolis coming together. So tell me, I know who all is going to be there. So tell me, you're going to have to pull up the whole list. There's like 50 of them.
Yeah.
So if you think you're going to be in and out, here's another thing. We will stay at football games for overtime all the time.
You know
We
what?
would stay
I don't
overtime.
I don't have a problem with people not wanting to stay. So that's never been my because you have to do stuff in excellence to make people want to stay. You
Right.
know, people say all the time that church people don't want to stay longer than an hour or two, but what intrigues people is the ability to be able to I know this is gonna be rough for somebody. Clench your pearls now or cover your ears. But it's the entertainment factor.
It
in
is.
too. You know, because people want to be emotionally drawn to whatever it is that you do, and generally, it's just like at the live recording, we have to make people leave, like literally.
Right.
Like I'm like, yo, like seriously, people,
They clocking us.
like seriously, we gotta leave, and people don't want to go. So I never really had that problem, but tonight I want to say this, that my team is getting ready right as we speak. Tonight, JP and the millennial group at our church called Bridge the Gap is coming together tonight, and we're going to feed tonight over 150 people
Wow.
downtown. So that's a prerequisite of Friday night of what we're doing.
Okay.
So, how do you say thank you to God for all that He's done, but to help somebody else? Exactly what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
we're going to feed over 150 homeless persons tonight downtown. So we're getting ready. They're getting ready as we speak
That's cool.
while I'm here. I love y'all. Thank you.
You know, but
Friday night, I'm so excited because all of the freaking artists, groups, majority of all of them will be with us Friday night. And it's been a long time since the gospel artists as a whole has been together in one place at the same time.
Now, have you had someone say, "Well, why did you pick this person and not this person?"
You know what?
It sounds petty, but
is.
it really.
Honestly, it wasn't a matter of picking people. I just put the word out. It's something, and everybody's like, "Okay, cool. This is," and those are the people that responded.
Cool.
So that's how that was. I sent out him, put the thing on the post or whatever, and those are the people that responded. And so, oh my God, I want to give a shout out to. I had to get my phone out. DeAndre Pope is going to be in the house.
Andre Speed,
Andre Speed, Angela Amos, Mark Music,
Karen.
Karen Hoskins, Michael Thomas, Robert Williams Jr. and the Warrior. They got a concert coming up next month too. We're gonna have a life insurance presentation.
Wow. We don't never
'Cause
talk about that kind of thing.
All we do is sing, and when it's time for us to die, we don't talk about that part. When it's time for us to die, we don't know, because we gotta do. I think GoFundMe is the new life insurance
Yeah.
policy.
Yeah.
But seriously, you want to be able to take care of your family. We got musicians that are ministering music and playing at churches and stuff like that don't offer life insurance.
You don't have a 401.
Don't have a 401k. So if your fingers lock up today or something,
Right.
what are you gonna do?
Fall back on.
So we're gonna do that. Devontae Lamont.
He just got back from Norway too.
Yeah, I'm proud.
I was like,
I'm
oh
proud.
my God.
We're doing it. Devontae Lamont and Renewed, the Williams Singers, Judah Band, Jay Thomas in the Situation, and of course, Demetrius West and
Okay.
Jesus Motors will be in the house. So y'all want to get there. It's free, but please bring a generous offering, because we're going to bless, not only tonight we're blessing families, but on Friday we're going to bless some single mothers.
Oh,
with,
wow.
with children, of course, for Christmas. So tonight we're blessing folks for Thanksgiving. Friday we're blessing folks for Christmas.
That's going to be.
And
So if we wanted to donate for Christmas, how would we go about doing that?
So what you want to do is come on Friday and bring your donation. Or if not, hit me up on Facebook. Hit up Rita Green. Certainly, she will tell you how to get those monies to her, as she does a lot of work in the community for single parents, and she does a lot of work in general for people that are in need.
Right.
So she's helping with that portion of it on Friday. So hit up Rita Green; she'll tell you how to do that. But this is we ain't none of the artists are asking for a dime on Friday. So we're gonna come in, we're gonna praise God, we're gonna raise some money, we gonna praise
Have
God
some
again
fun.
and have some fun, and then bless some people from the internet, not from me, because I don't care about the name recognition, but just for the people that need help.
And you know what? It's so important that our children see that in this day and age. I don't want my kids to be scared to talk to a homeless person.
Absolutely not.
We went out last Christmas and because we told me and my husband said we're not going to do a lot of Christmas stuff, not give a lot of gifts,
Yeah.
because kids get to a point where they have everything,
Yeah.
they feel entitled, so you have to pull them back.
And not only that, by the time January 1st comes, toys stuff be all set up on the floor, and,
Yeah.
and you ain't playing with that stuff no more. And now you done went into debt for some
Because
stuff.
standing in lines on Black Friday, standing in lines. So we told the kids, we're going to get you guys 2 gifts a piece, and we're going to go feed the homeless. Now, I thought they wouldn't be happy, okay? But they enjoyed going downtown with us Christmas morning and feeding the homeless. And it meant, and they're like, are we going to do it again this year? And I was like, of course. It means so much. We need to embed that in our children to be givers.
Yeah.
We need to embed that and not wanting anything in return, because sometimes our children get to that thing of, if I do this, can I have something? No, you just do it because it's on your heart to do
For the
it.
love of, and the truth of the matter is that if we continue to keep teaching generation after generation after generation that this day is about gifts, give me, gifts, we never understand the real meaning of the holiday in the first place.
Right.
Although we all know that this is not Jesus' actual birthday, but this is the day that we set aside for it. And so, really, I told my wife, I don't think that if it's my birthday, I would enjoy y'all giving gifts to somebody else.
Right.
So
In my honor.
in
What?
yeah, this is Jesus' birthday, so let me give you all these gifts. But I will tell you, I do have like 1 million Christmas trees in my house.
I do love decorating.
I do.
I love decorating.
I love it.
We do the night before Christmas. I've been doing this since Dominique was a baby. She's 26 now. We'll sit around the Christmas tree and we make cookies and hot chocolate and all that. And I read the Christmas story out the Bible. And we tell a couple of things that we're grateful for. So it's so important to instill those type of family. And now we do that with the twins and the other children. It's so important to do that because, again, we lose focus on people. I have seen people borrow money to go shopping for Black Friday and not be able to pay their rent come January 1st. Cars are repoed. And seriously, we'll go broke trying to get all these things. And that's just priority.
Yeah, I ain't missing no mortgage. I'm not missing no car notes, insurance, none of that type of stuff. To be giving people stuff that is not sentimental. It's never made any sense to me. I don't mind. I love entertaining. I love family at the house during the time. And
Do
all
you
that
guys
type
do
of-
board games?
Yes.
Oh, we do too.
It's gonna
Woo.
be serious tomorrow. I'm telling you.
We
everybody's
do
coming
board.
to my
We
house.
like
I
the
know
kids
it's
be crying. I don't care. I want to beat them too.
Yeah.
Everybody can get
Listen,
beat.
I don't. Everybody can get it.
Yeah, my mom. We do we don't care.
Uh-huh.
The twins be like, please, no, give it all to me.
Everybody can get it. But on a serious tip, that's what it's about. It's about honoring who Jesus is, and then do what Jesus did. And so that's what we're doing, man. We just have fun.
I noticed you shaved your beard.
I did. You see it? Huh?
It looks nice.
Oh.
What made you decide to shave it?
You know what? I got so tired of. I actually just shaved it today. I got so tired of it. I've been like 3 or 4 years, been walking around like that, and so it's such a hassle to maintain, and then it gets nappy. comb it out and stuff like that. And chicken grease gets
Okay.
French fry.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, and you like, oh, that's that $10 I lost. I put it in my beard. Yeah, I cut it off. I did. And I'm excited. I may grow it back sometime, may not. And then I'm really gray. I'm getting gray, so that's really coming in too. So, as you get older,
Look, I'm older than you.
Life happens.
It does.
It just
does.
is what it is.
But I'm grateful to be around to get older.
Yeah.
Grateful to be around to get older.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful.
My dad, he's 74.
Wow.
And to be 74 and he's outlived all his brothers and everything, his sisters and everything. And to see him getting around with his right mind, it makes me feel
That's a blessing.
it is wonderful, because so many people are not able to. My dad still drives. Of course, I fuss at him because my dad carries a gun everywhere he goes. He said Al Qaeda is everywhere.
So does Brother West too.
Okay, me too. That's where I got mine from. But I absolutely love the fact that God has allowed him to still be around and still be here with the kids and with us too. Just so grateful for that. So, What is next for Demetrius West?
So if the Lord lets me live, what's next is 2020, January 1st, 2020 comes around.
What are you guys doing for New Year's Eve?
I don't do a lot of.
Do you go to service or do you do anything like that?
Well, we'll be in Brooklyn, but yeah, generally, if I'm in town, then we have I'm with my church, of course, but
Right.
yeah. So what's next for us is if the Lord lets us see January 1st, 2020.
Man.
We'll see January 1st, 2020.
Well, I am so excited. I know you have so much going on and you're so tired, and just, again, it's so nice to just sit and just chit-chat with you.
Yeah.
And just hear all the wonderful things, just all the knowledge. It's good to see and hear a young person, and I think we're still young, a young person that God has really blessed. Anyway, I'm young.
You young.
You are. I'm older than you, so
that's
you're.
cool, but I feel like.
Look.
But yeah, thank you. It's always such a blessing to have friends, and it's even more a blessing that you let somebody that is really irrelevant. I'm irrelevant. I just work for
Whatever.
That is relevant.
Whatever. What I like about you too is that it doesn't matter where we are. If you see me, you still treat me the same way. You'll run up to me and give me a hug and
Absolutely.
hey, and that means something to me
absolutely.
because I don't want someone that's my friend in private.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what? I that's one of my prayers is that God would never ever allow me to be like that. And so, but like I said, thank you so much for having me here, and maybe in a couple weeks we'll be back.
Because he can't listen. We didn't got a phone call. He cannot release that song today.
I was
He will be
going
in
to,
trouble.
but-
And I'm not trying to get him jumped on by Rita Green. I called her name. So no, he's not going to release the song. But just know it's coming. It's coming, and I know it's going to be a banging hit. So we are just so grateful for what all you've done with Indianapolis and with the choirology. And
I'm a son of the city. I'm just gonna. I put on for my city, man. It just is what it is.
Are you going to the Stellars next year?
I don't really get into all that fanfare stuff.
So, the only reason I went last year is because you and Judah Band were there. That's the only reason. So, if y'all not there, I won't be there this year.
To look up and see you, though. I was like, oh, righty there.
And look, amongst everybody, he still ran over there and was like, hey, him and his wife was beautiful. Of course, she always is. and she was wearing her dress. Okay,
she was.
was wearing her dress. So
Lord,
it was.
Lord bless
I appreciate what you have given to the city, and I'm really looking
I put on for
forward
my
to
city.
Friday.
I love my city.
And your city loves you
I
too.
love my city, and hopefully, something that I do, will just inspire people to
Mm-hmm.
just pull out greatness from them. So, I love you, man. Thank
Love you
for having me.
too.
We gotta feed these homeless tonight.
Yeah, you got to get to work.
So
While you yawning and stuff.
I know. Pray for me.
Well, listen, we are tonight. It's going to be Lamar Campbell
Oh.
in the studio with Rodney Bryant at 7:00.
Oh.
So that's going to be amazing. Talking about the Christmas. Lamar Campbell has a Christmas
Yeah.
thing
I
that
was
he
at
does.
rehearsal. I was at his rehearsal on Monday night.
Yeah, it's a nice. I mean, it's really going to be nice. Leandria.
Johnson's gonna be.
Oh my God, and she's amazing in herself.
Leandra, come through.
Okay, so we're excited to have them in the studio tonight. So if you're tuning in on the Right Now Gospel Show, it'll be at 7:00 tonight.
Yeah.
Lamar Campbell and Rodney
I might
Bryant.
sneak back up in through here too.
Oh, that will make them. Y'all always clown me
Oh,
y'all
we
together.
Gonna climb.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to the hits that you keep bringing to us.
Thank you. I love y'all.
Keep keeping choirs relevant.
Ah. I hear my music.
Okay.
Let's get out of here. Come on, say it. Put your hands together, everybody.